QU student finds success with a St. Louis podcast. A group of friends have joined together to not only talk about life, but they are starting a new business as well.
Up and away, one of QU's favourite traditions returns for homecoming. This popular event fills a field and the skies above it.
But first, QU security is investigating a rare crime on campus with a warning for students on how to protect themselves using common sense. Hello everyone, I'm Jay Hamill.
And I'm Chloe Knott. We begin today with a stolen car from parking lot C on campus.
The theft happened in the early morning of October 14th. QUTV reporter Alex Abishan tells us what happened.
Early hours of the morning on Thursday, approximately 5 cars were entered by 3 male suspects in C and D lots of Quincy University campus. One of the cars entered was stolen from C lot between 6 and 6:30 a.m. I spoke with the owner of the car about what was going through his mind when he found out.
I went out to where I parked my car, and I noticed that there was a different car there. And at first, I was a little bit delusional. I kind of thought that that night I went out really late and stuff, and just thought I was in a different parking lot. But as soon as I realized that I didn't go out and I pressed the panic button on my keys, I realized that my car was stolen.
After Thornton realized his car was gone, he contacted the Quincy Police Department and campus security. A review of the cameras revealed images of 2 of the suspects, as well as the car they brought into the lot and the manner in which they searched the vehicles.
What we did notice during the time that they were out in the parking lot is that they were checking for vehicles that were unlocked. So they were going down the rows of cars, pulling on door handles, and as soon as they found one open, they were entering and taking anything that they could find of value.
The suspects nor the stolen vehicle have been located yet, but thanks to the use of cameras in the lots, the suspects in their car are better identified, bringing comfort to other students that park in the lots.
Honestly, my first reaction was, how could something like this happen in Quincy? I think this whole situation has just made me more vigilant about making sure my car is locked, making sure my friends are locking their car, and it's made me super thankful that we have an amazing security staff here at Quincy who monitor surveillance footage, who monitor the cameras 24/7 so that we can help protect those at all costs.
The good news is that QU security has cameras placed in parking lots, like this one, that surveys the area 24/7. Alex Abishan, QUTV News, C-Lot.
The security department reminds all students to lock all doors from dorms to cars and keep your keys on you at all times. If you have any information on whereabouts of the stolen car or the suspects involved, please contact Quincy Police Department at 217-228-4470. COVID had one positive effect at QU in 2020. Crime numbers reported on the annual Safety and Security Report are down. The report shows crime statistics on the campus for the past 4 years. Numbers are either the same or lower in 2020, partly because students were not on campus the second half of spring semester. There were 43 liquor law violations on campus in 2020. That's down from 63 in 2019. The number of burglaries was down by 1 in 2020, and data can be found on QU's website.
The St. Louis podcast with a Quincy connection is branching out. Off the Rip is a podcast about life and real life advice. Now its members, including a QU student, is getting into another business. QUTV's Eric Stafford tells us how podcasting led to a clothing line.
The Off the Rip organization is a special group of guys whose mission is to inspire others through style and knowledge. They want to use their voice to become pillars in communities and motivate others to create a positive change. Everyone in the circle brings very different and unique pieces to the table, allowing them to attract an audience of all kinds. They work hard to give out information.
I learned the importance of mapping out how to achieve my goals, bro. I was like that type of person where yeah, my goal is to do this. My goal is to do that. But that's kind of like wishful speaking. I mean, because, yeah, it's my goal, but I was only, fooling people. Like, I was fooling myself, too, because, you know what I mean? If I say, yeah, my goal is to freaking, I don't know, be the world's best basketball player, but I'm not trying to map out how to achieve that goal. I'm only cheating myself, bro. Like, I might be fooling you, but I'm cheating myself.
This past summer, the guys have even started making clothes, hoping to expand in many different areas involving business.
I ain't gonna fake it, you gotta be ready for anything. Now, when it comes to finances, I ain't gonna fake it. A lot of people is hurt. You know why? Because they ain't stacked their bread. Save your money, it'll save you, bro. And, bro, anything can happen. You could lose your job. Your source of income could stop at any time. You gotta be ready.
Find Off the Rip podcast on your favorite podcast app. A homecoming tradition that is officially back after COVID-19.
Coming up next, the Hawks take it to the sky at Quincy's annual Balloon Glow. The number of recognizable statues and art installations on campus is growing. A new clock was just installed near Brenner Library. A mystery donor wanted to see an old-fashioned clock on campus. It took a while for the idea to be formulated. QU's Dr. Robert WYATT, who was named Vice President for University Advancement earlier this year, worked on getting this gift.
We actually had a couple of donors who wanted to do something to honor a significant person in QU's history. They also wanted it to be something that could be functional on campus and something that would add beauty to the campus.
WYATT serves as the Chief Fundraising Officer for the university and the leader of Quincy's fundraising communication and alumni relations efforts. The dedication of the clock remains anonymous, but the announcement is coming soon.
So the dedication will be at the end of October when our Board of Trustees meet, and at that point we will actually announce who the clock is being named after.
The clock stands in the cement of QU's campus by Brenner Library and Francis Hall. Your time as a Quincy University Hawk is ticking. Some go to their pockets to check their phone. Others look at their wrist. Now Quincy's newest statue can tell time. Be sure to tune in next week to find out who the clock will be dedicated to.
The highly anticipated Balloon Glow was back this homecoming. The free family event took place September 30th at FRIARS Field. "10 balloons, 8 food vendors, and over 1,000 people. This year's Balloon Glow was a night of fun for the whole community. The Hawk Marching Band, Hawkettes Dance Squad, and cheerleaders all performed before the balloons arrived.
It's just such a great way to kick off the homecoming festivities and to just get everything going for a great weekend. It's an opportunity for the Quincy community to come out, to join the alumni community, and to just really celebrate what QU is all about.
I love the atmosphere, and I love having the ability to hang out with all my friends and get to see some hot air balloons, because it's not something I really get to see around my hometown.
This year is the 6th time QU has hosted the Balloon Glow. Music and food entertain the crowds while the balloons start to light up. The evening continued as the bright balloons flickered in the dark sky. QU plans for the Balloon Glow to be back next year. Early morning, the hot air balloons took passengers for a ride across Quincy. Really cool experience. I actually got to go up in a balloon, and I've never been in one before. It was a lot of fun.
That does sound like a really cool experience. Coming up after the break is MICAH Wheeler with weather.
MICAH, the weather is starting to change. I've seen a lot of trees filled with colourful leaves at the moment.
Well, yes, Chloe, this week we do have some promising weather, which is a huge turnaround from last week. And if you take a look at this video, you'll see exactly what I mean. I mean, the rain was just coming down, unforgiving. And this week, hopefully we don't have to worry about it. We should see some change later on, early in next week, with some rain heading into Sunday, as you'll see later. But heading into today's headlines, the temperature is cool outside. Temperature is still dropping. This week we do have an abundance of clouds in the sky, so you might want to bundle up. But looking at today's temperature, we have a high of 75 and a low of 54. The average around this time is just a few degrees lower, with a high of 74 and a low of 56. In 2010, we still witnessed those summer temperatures with a high of 85, and in 2015, we had a brisk 46. Looking at today's temperature, it is a little drizzle outside. Just this morning, I went outside. The sun was out, but rain was still coming down, which was pretty strange. High of 75, winds coming in from the south of 15 miles per hour. Tonight, the temperature will drop to 46. The rain will go away, but the clouds will remain in the sky. Winds coming in from the southwest of 10 miles per hour. And heading into tomorrow's forecast, we see that it will be a high of 59. Cloudy in the morning, it might clear up later on in the day. Winds coming in from the northwest of 14 miles per hour. Looking at our event forecast, on Friday it'll be a clear, partly cloudy day, high of 63. Friday evening the temperature will drop down, clouds remain in the sky. Temperature drops to 42, and on Saturday, just as it is on Friday, it will be a 63 with some clouds in the sky. Our 3-day forecast, on Thursday we have a high of 59 with a low of 45. Clouds still in the sky. On Friday, as I said, same as Saturday, 63, 63, 39, 52. Our 7-day forecast is looking, as I said, on Sunday, it will look similar to how the graphic showed us. Rain in the sky with a 60% chance. High of 64, a low of 54, excuse me. It'll remain until Monday, with the percentage dropping down just a little bit to 50, high of 64 and a low of 52. On Tuesday, it will clear up. Temperature rises slightly to a high of 68 and a low of 55. And come back Wednesday, the rain will come back, but still dropping down the percentage to a percentage of 30 and a high of 66 with a low of 55. And if you take a look at this graphic, you'll see that with the rain and the clouds does come some beautiful sunsets. So even on those gloomy days, we still have some beautiful things to look forward to. And that is all we have for today's weather.
Yeah, I really enjoy seeing those sunsets at the end of the day. It makes it a nice evening.
After the break, Alex Abashan will tell us all about the weekend wins and losses for the Hawks. I heard football dropped a heartbreaker at the Rock over the weekend.
And the men's bowling team competed in their first ever meet in program history.
That's right. Gary Bass and company were on the short end of a shootout, and we got our first look at the men that are going to roll the Rock for the Hawks. But first, the QU women's volleyball team competed in the Midwest Regional Crossover in Hammond, Indiana this weekend. The Hawks face off against 3 teams with records above the 500 mark and came away with 3 convincing W's, opening the tournament with a victory over Northwood University 3-1. Despite a 5-hour layover, Quincy came out firing and took down Ohio Dominican in the nightcap in straight sets, giving the QU opportunity for a weekend sweep. With a win over Saginaw Valley, and the Hawks delivered with that 3-0 shutout of the Cardinals. It moves them to 11-10 on the year. Junior setter Michaela Canablo earned an all-tournament nod, as well as being the GLVC Offensive Player of the Week on Monday after dishing out 106 assists and collecting 41 digs on the weekend. The Hawks traveled to Southwest Baptist and Rockhurst this weekend for a pair of GLVC showdowns. The QU women's soccer team traveled to Kirksville on Friday to face off with Truman State in a GLVC matchup. The Lady Hawks looked to capture their 5th win of the year, but couldn't find the back of the net in 90 minutes, managing just 4 shots on goal and surrendering the game winner in the 76th minute in a 1-0 loss to the Bulldogs. The Lady Hawks play host to Rockhurst next Friday, followed by the Senior Day matchup on Sunday against William Jewell. Men's soccer was also in action on the road at Truman State on Friday night, looking to snap a 4-game winless streak. The Hawks came out firing, taking the first 4 shots, 2 of them on goal. This one from Cole Hayes in the 5th minute, wrapped up by the keeper. But the QU offensive unit could only be contained for so long, with Quincy breaking through in the 23rd minute on a second chance goal for Jack Reed off the feed from Craig Chisholm, giving the Hawks a 1-0 lead. Truman answered with their own goal in the 33rd minute to knot the score at 1, but it would be Cole Hayes delivering the game winner in the 76th minute off a good ball from Nick Chapman near the midfield to seal the 2-1 victory for the Hawks. Quincy will face off with Rockhurst on Friday night and William Jewell for the Sunday afternoon showdown on Senior Day. The men's bowling team traveled to Wichita, Kansas this weekend to compete in the Mid-State Championship, their first ever meet as a program. The Rolling Hawks finished 19th out of 28 teams, with each member of the team bowling 6 rounds. The Hawks averaged a 178.3 pin per round, paced by Anthony Lundy with an average score of 191.7, and Caden Witt, who averaged 180.8 and turned in the high round of the weekend for QU with a 327. The QU football team hosted McKendree on Saturday afternoon at the Rock in a game that turned from a lopsided affair in the first half to a shootout in the second. The first quarter was a pedestrian one that saw only a field goal from the Hawks. Michael Klotz kept it between the posts from 42 yards for a season long to give the Hawks a 3-0 lead. QU's offense would get it going in the second, finding pay dirt on the first play of the quarter. After trailing 3-7 from the Bearcats' score in the final minutes of the first, it would be Tion Harris finding Angel Ruiz in motion, who scampers into the end zone for his second tutty of the year, giving the Hawks a 10-7 advantage. The Hawks would score twice in the quarter, first on an 18-yard pass from Harris to Paul Sullivan, and again shortly after on a 16-yard touchdown reception for Eugene Witherspoon. His NCAA leading 13th touchdown gave the Hawks a comfortable 24-7 lead going into the half. Quincy started off the second half with a 75-yard touchdown reception. It was Harris to A.J. Harden, one of Harden's 7 receptions for a team leading 143 yards on the day, giving the Hawks a 31-7 lead with under a minute off the clock in the third quarter. The Hawks defense forced 6 Bearcat turnovers in the first 2 frames, but McKendree's offense came back in the second half with 2 touchdowns in the third to cut the lead to 13 before another Klotz field goal to end the third quarter. In the fourth, the Hawks scored early on a Jalen Griffin touchdown right here. Here it is, the Jalen Griffin touchdown. And that would extend their lead to a 41-21 20-point advantage with 13:31 left to play. Quincy scored again following 2 McKendree touchdowns on a run from Tion Harris to make it 48-35 with 5:32 left on the clock. The Bearcats would go on to score again in the 4th minute and with 1:47 left on the clock, but would miss their extra point to give them the lead and find the game tied at 48. After a quick turnover by the Hawks, McKendree nailed a 39-yard field goal to take the lead with 25 seconds left. The Hawks were able to get into field goal range in 20 seconds, sending Klotz out to try and send the game to overtime with 4 seconds left, but it was not meant to be as the kick was blocked and McKendree cemented the 51-48 comeback win over QU. The Hawks are home again this Saturday, taking on the Greyhounds from the University of Indianapolis. And that is all we have for sports.
Thanks, Alex. What a busy weekend with sports.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming up, what does President McGee love more than squirrels? We'll find out coming up next.
If you weren't already hungry, you are about to be. It's a day of celebration Dr. President McGee always enjoys indulging in. October 20th is National Chicken and Waffles Day, a day of combining big sweet and savory flavors for a delicious meal. As much as Dr. President McGee loves his chicken and waffles, I sure am surprised we aren't having our own celebration here on campus.
I agree, Jay. Chicken and waffles, that's something worth celebrating.
I mean, I believe that there's never been a greater combination.
I haven't tried it yet, but maybe one day.
For all of us here at QUTV, thanks for watching. Look for QUTV on social media and find our stories on QUmedia.net. Have a great week.